Lifeguards rescued more than a dozen people from the San Diego River during the height of the storm. We are going to hear from one of the victims.
Drying up and clearing out, but we're going to take a look at the record rainfall that we had in spots around the county.
Plus, a couple in North County is shocked to get a $16,000 water bill.
An organization ready to rescue a puppy for a Camp Pendleton Marine and his battalion, but they need your help to pull it off.
And listen up, parents, is a sugar high really just a myth? We verified. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Cleanup continues across the county tonight in aftermath of Tropical Storm Hilary. Good evening. I'm Jesse Pagan in for Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. If you needed to get to Imperial County or Arizona, today was not the day. Caltrans crews spent the day working to clear these huge boulders described as the size of school buses that fell out of the eastbound Interstate 8 and blocked lanes. This was near Ocotillo. Chase Golightly has an update tonight from East County.
We're in Ocotillo right now. This is on the eastern side of where the I-8 closure began, which in total stretches for about 10 miles. And from where we're standing, you can actually see the long line of cars off there in the distance waiting to head toward San Diego. Cars and semi-trucks backed up for miles on I-8 going to and from San Diego, all because of this.
Rock slides that developed during the height of the storm. Some very large boulders came down.
The heavy rain from post-tropical cyclone Hilary causing boulders the size of school buses to crash down on eastbound Interstate 8. It happened Sunday afternoon. Everett Townsend with California Department of Transportation said there's only one way to clear them off the road.
Drilling into the boulder where we can, and then placing explosives.
Blowing up the boulders bit by bit, which could take a day to completely clear and repair the interstate. In the meantime, they are letting those driving eastbound go onto westbound I-8 in 15-minute intervals to try and clear the traffic. Those heading towards San Diego, like Riley, said they got lucky and didn't have to wait that long.
We were probably only slowed down about 20 minutes and then got to pick up again.
But for those on eastbound lanes,
It's dead stop. I don't even know when they'll move.
it turned I-8 into a parking lot. At the Jacumba exit, drivers told us they've been waiting a while. That includes Eric Gillo, who's heading toward Phoenix.
About 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes. Have you moved at all?
No, I haven't moved an inch.
People getting out of their cars trying to see how long the line goes.
I already have an 18-hour drive, so it's whatever. It is what it is.
The standstill went on for about an hour before cars were finally able to move. Now, for us traveling west, it took us about 2.5 hours to get from Jacumba to Ocotillo, where we are now. Caltrans warning drivers, if you have to travel this portion of I-8 today, you're definitely going to want to give yourself plenty of time. We're in Ocotillo. Chase Golightly, CBS 8.
Other parts of the county and state are dealing with flooding and other damage. We'll have more on that in just a couple of minutes.
Well, first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis. She's tracking what's left of Hilary and what we can expect. Carlene?
Well, thankfully, we're not tracking anything because that is out of here.
All right,
So
bye, Hilary.
Exactly. Once you got basically the last advisory that comes through, and that happened at 11 a.m. this morning, that's we're no longer tracking it as Hilary. It's an area of low pressure that is just moving over Idaho. We are looking at more rain in the forecast for that portion of our country. For us, we're drying out quite nicely, but it did leave behind some record rainfall. Over the last couple of days, we saw more than an inch of rainfall west of the mountains. That range was about 1 to 2 inches. We even had 2.5 inches for Carlsbad. The bulk of that moisture was across the mountains, and we had an upwards of 7 inches of rainfall, just a little bit more than that for Mount Laguna, and we even had about 1 to 2.5 inches across the desert. When we talk about some record rainfall, not just talking about for a single day, but let's talk about the entire month of August. That's what we had in Escondido yesterday, the same for Vista and for Cuyamaca, and that was with 2.66 inches. That was for Escondido, broke that old record, which was a little bit more than about 2 inches of rainfall. And for San Diego, city of San Diego downtown got 1.82 inches of rainfall received yesterday. That is the most rainfall that we have had so far this year, and the wettest day that we've had for the city of San Diego since February 27th back in 2017. So a whole lot of rainfall because of Hilary. We're now drying out, but there is a chance we could see a few more isolated showers in the forecast. Details coming up. Jesse?
Thank you, Carlene. More than a dozen people are safe tonight after lifeguards rescued them from flooded areas near the San Diego River during the storm. CBS 8's Steve Price is live in Mission Valley tonight where the river runs and is calmer today. Steve?
Oh, Jesse, I'll tell you, it is a lot calmer today. In fact, to the point where we have seen several people return to their spots along the river, like that island you see behind me. A very different scene than what we saw out here last night.
So it's scary. It's really scary.
Christine Lonnie has been living by the San Diego River for years and is used to rain. But what happened Sunday night totally caught her by surprise.
It just came out of nowhere in seconds. Like we were gonna, right when I said, I think we should move, because this looks like it's gonna get a lot worse, and I really think we should move. And as soon as I said that, my husband went outside, and it was too late. He said it's too late.
Another person living by the water called 911. More than a dozen people trapped, but lifeguards, fearing this could happen, had rescue teams stationed in the area. So they got to this spot near Friars on Morena within minutes and quickly hopped in the water.
It's incredibly difficult, right? You're sitting in the water in the middle of the night. You don't know what's underneath you. There's many reeds and other areas that could catch you in debris.
Making a difficult situation worse, the original 911 call said there were 20 people stuck by the river, but crews only found 13. Fearing people were swept downstream, rescuers opened up their search area and used heat-seeking drones.
We searched both sides of the river, both the south and north sides of the river, all the way down to the 5, just to make sure. We found some structures on different islands that were in there, but we didn't find anybody inside.
The San Diego River rose quickly in several spots, especially around Fashion Valley. Check out this drone video we shot today. Hours after the rain stopped, roads still flooded, closed to cars. Near the spot where Christine lives, the water levels finally receded, but she says all of her belongings are covered with mud. She's thankful the storm is gone and hopes she's not still living down here the next time it happens.
They think we want to be out here. We don't want to be out here. Who the hell wants to be out here? This is terrible. We're not living. We're not living, none of us.
Christine also told me that there are quite a few more people living along the river than before. She says she's seeing a lot of new faces. She's guessing at this point, Jesse, that it's because of the camping ban, so a lot of people have moved off the street and down here.
Now, Steve, thankfully, they're all safe after last night. But you mentioned they used a heat-seeking drone during the rescue. We see first responders usually use a helicopter during rescues like this. Did they have one last night?
You know, I talked to the rescuers about that, and they said they would have preferred to have a helicopter out here because then they could shine a light on a bigger area. It's easier to see, plus they're up above, a great view. Unfortunately, though, Jesse, because of the weather conditions last night, with the wind and the fog out here, they were not able to get a helicopter, which is why really their only option from above was that drone.
First responders also got to try and stay safe so they can actually help people while they're out there.
Indeed.
Steve Price live for us today. Steve, thank you. Meantime, crews are working to clean up debris in University City where a eucalyptus tree fell onto homes. Look at that. Winds toppled the tree around 5 last night. 3 people inside the homes got out safely and no one was hurt. Property managers say they'll have a better idea of the damage once the tree is gone.
Leaders here in San Diego County are praising preparation efforts for Tropical Storm Hilary, saying those help save lives. This morning, city and county officials thanked everyone for taking the storm seriously by staying home and off of our roads. That helped first responders get to where they needed to be. As Steve Price just reported, lifeguards made 13 swiftwater rescues yesterday. Crews were also out warning people who are unsheltered about the incoming storm and help move them out of dangerous areas.
We proactively relocated residents from the 20th and B safe sleeping site in Golden Hill in less than 24 hours, making sure that all those people could be safe and dry during this event. That was not easy to do.
The county distributed a total of 200,000 sandbags to people. One of the hardest hit areas in Southern California was in Palm Springs. Record rainfall created flash flooding and dangerous road conditions. Andy Judson from our sister station in Sacramento was there for the worst of it last night. We check in with her today. Andy, what's it like there now? I love that the sun is shining on you after all the rain that you got pelted with yesterday.
Yeah, we're coming to you a little bit drier today than yesterday. And yesterday we showed you the devastation those flash floods can bring and how much water that they can bring so quickly. Well, today we're showing you the aftermath. I'm actually standing in the middle of a major roadway right here. This is the Jen Autry roadway, and it connects I-10 to Palm Springs. And many people use it to get from one place to the other. But obviously you can see it's completely closed and washed out. But imagine if homes were here. Well, that's what one neighboring community in the Cathedral City experienced today. We spoke with them earlier today. Take a listen.
As Tropical Storm Hillary hit the Palm Springs area, Jeff Murray packed his bags.
Left at 3 to get here.
As president of Orange County Restoration Services, he knew residents in the desert would need his help.
We do catastrophe work like this. So we saw what was going on, so we loaded up some of our large trucks and they're on their way out.
They landed in Cathedral City, one of the hardest hit areas in California, especially the Canyon Mobile Park community.
It's heart-wrenching on one hand to see in a senior community so many homes being really harmed, water underneath, potential mold going forward. How's that abatement going to work? And the flip side is, who in the desert has flood insurance?
Nancy Ross is a Cathedral City Council member.
But my most important title today is I am a resident of the Canyon Mobile Home Park in Cathedral City, California.
She estimates 60 of her neighbors' homes were flooded, causing $3 to $5 million in damage.
It was quite a catastrophe yesterday.
It's why Jeff's work is especially needed here.
Water that came off the ground, they call it Category 3, it's contaminated. And so between the bacteria and between the water and the warm temperature, you will have a lot of bacteria and a lot of mold growing very quickly.
But neighbors are also relying on each other.
You should see this community come together. People by the scores literally coming out with brooms and shovels and cleaning up.
Now, hurricane turned tropical storm Hillary actually broke the record here in Palm Springs and some surrounding regions for rainfall, the amount of rainfall in a single day. So that just shows how much water is here. And we're actually still seeing the water flowing right here on what is supposed to be the roadway. So crews have a long ways to go until they're back to normal here in Palm Springs. We'll continue to keep you updated, but I'll send it back to you in studio.
Thanks. So Andy, Palm Springs, obviously a very popular place for San Diegans to travel to and from. How does that road closure impact people perhaps coming or leaving Palm Springs?
Yeah, actually, we've heard some frustration because it's much harder to get into Palm Springs than normal because of the aftermath of Hillary. And actually, Jeff, who you heard from in our package there, our report, he came in to help with restoration and help the folks impacted. He said he had to leave at 3 a.m. and it took him way longer than normal to get from Orange County to Palm Springs. But it's not just the roadways, actually. Yesterday, the Palm Springs airport was also shut down because of the storm. So people are just now trying to figure out how to get in and out safely. The airport is back to normal, but as for the roadways, we still have a little ways to go.
All right, so maybe if it's not essential that you go to or from, for our viewers here in San Diego, maybe wait a few more days for them to be able to do some more cleanup. Thank you so much for that live report, Andy.
We want to say a big thank you to all of you who sent in your photos and videos during Hillary.
This right here is an example of just one of the videos that we received. Cheryl Allison from Ramona sent us this video of a family of ducks coming indoors to escape from the rain, eating a little food that she left there for them. Very cute. Don't forget, you don't have to wait for a big storm. You can send us videos and photos of weather events, beautiful sunsets, images that are newsworthy or of interest anytime. All you need to do is go to our free CBS 8 app, and then it's so easy. On the bottom, there's a Near Me section, and you can submit your photo or video. You just upload it. It takes, boom, just a second or two. Make sure you tell us your name and your neighborhood, and we might share your photo on TV.
Still ahead, the El Nino that's building as we deal with the aftermath of Hillary.
And speaking of the storm, it's also bringing some unwanted guests into some of your homes.
Ooh.
Where these tarantulas were found hiding in people's homes.
And the couple who came to us with their $16,000 water bill. Well, we're working for you and them to get answers.